Welcome back, everyone, to Rejects and Friends Rapid Fire 2025. I am Hey It's H, you can just call me H, and I will be your host for this upcoming run. That's Cloud running Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons with MZ Daisy on comms. But before I hand you over, I have some exciting news. Starting now, our new art incentive is live. So when you donate at least $10 using !donate in chat, we have a raffle running for a wallpaper by the wonderful Joshua FE8 titled Look Out, Joshua and Pura are landing. It shows Joshua and Pura outside Lookout Landing and it is super, super cute. So when donating with a minimum of $10, make sure you add the reward to your donation to be in with a chance to win. And not only that, we have not one but two new bid wars for Sparkle's Pokemon Coliseum run, which is the last run for today. Sparkle needs help in choosing some Pokemon nicknames for Espeon and Typhlosion. So next time you donate, make sure you vote in that bid war. So I shall not take up any more time. Without any further ado, take it away, please, Cloud.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rapid Fire RAF 2025. Oh god, I've done this so much. I should be better at introductions and stuff by now. But yeah, we're going to be showing off Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons today. This is a category that I grinded extensively last year. I got to show it off at ATDQ back in January. And it's a pretty fun, pretty chill category with a lot of cool tricks and a lot of time for us to hang out and just kind of have fun. So without further ado, since the run is quite long, we're going to jump into it. And time will start at the count of 3. And 3, 2, 1, go. And I have with me on commentary today the lovely, the wonderful, the one and only MZ Daisy. If you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm MZ, and I like Zelda games. That's it.
Oh my god, me too. What are the odds?
Oh my god, me as well.
And yeah, we're honored to have H joining with us for hosting. So yeah, we're going to keep it loose. We're going to keep it fun today. First things first, though, we've got quite a gauntlet of hard tricks at the beginning of the game. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set up what we call a climb jump clip, which is a very precise lineup to just jump out of bounds here. And then I'll let MC take over so I can focus.
Yeah, so we've got to jump up at a specific point on this wall. And what we're going to be doing here is doing all kinds of crazy movement out of bounds to try and skip some of Zelda's cutscene triggers. Zelda really wants to stop us all along this long hallway, and tell us all about the fun Zonai thing she's found. But we want to go fast and we don't want to talk to our girlfriend. So we're jumping around her triggers, trying to make it to the final cutscene trigger at the end of the hallway without talking to Zelda at all.
You know what they say, life is a hallway.
And I'm gonna go out of bounds and skip all my girlfriend's cutscenes.
I don't recommend doing that in real life, by the way.
Good job.
That's pretty good. Oh, and I forgot to disable the mod, so no cutscene. So normally right here we'd be watching a 4-minute long unskippable cutscene, but I forgot to disable the mod, so...
Dude, I'm sat here with my blankie, my drink. I was ready for a movie. Apparently
Don't
not.
worry, we'll get there. We've got fish drama coming up. We've got bird drama. We've got hot desert lady drama. We've got Goron drama.
All right, I'll keep my blankie at the ready then.
So yeah, skipping the cutscene is leaderboard viable. I normally don't do it for showcases just to keep the estimate more realistic, but I forgot. So we're just gonna vibe. But our reward for getting through that tough gauntlet at the beginning is now we've got another difficult movement trick coming up called Cog Skip, or Cog Skip Skip if you say it wrong. So what we're gonna do after grabbing our Decayed Master Sword here is we're gonna line up on this wheel up here and we're gonna perform a very precise jump to try to get out of this room early, which will not only save about 40 seconds worth of cutscenes and a long walk down the hall, it'll give us access to some cool items that we can get early.
Yeah, so
This
this
might take
is,
a
I
couple tries
believe,
here.
not even considered a glitch. It's just like a really long jump that you can do.
There we go. I'll take third try.
Nice. But it's really finicky.
Climb up here. So we're just gonna come out here into this tunnel and get early access to the outside.
Free.
And this sword pull shenanigans is what we call crouch throw sprinting. If you're familiar with Breath of the Wild, there's like whistle sprinting to conserve stamina. Crouch throw sprinting is like we have whistle sprinting at home version of that. It's not as great and it's a lot more mechanically intense. And it really doesn't save much time over the course of the run because pretty soon we're not going to be doing much more walking. But try to squeeze out that time save wherever we can. And here's that item we were talking about, the Zonai wings, which are going to be very crucial for various parts of the run, including cutscene.
And a casual quick dupe. We had 3 and now we have way more than 3.
I always gloss over that part because like I don't even think about it as like a glitch anymore. I'm just so used to doing it.
Can't you always just like duplicate random stuff that you have in your pocket? That's like a normal thing, right?
Let me put it. I wouldn't be streaming on Twitch, that's for sure. But anyways, if we got about 45 seconds here or so, if we got anything from our host real quick.
I do indeed. Just wanted to a quiet reflection. Can you believe that this is our 7th major Rejects and Friends event? We've come a really, really long way from the original meme about being rejected from GDQ, but it's still the event we all know and love. And it's you, our wonderful community, who make it such a fun time every time we do it. So huge, huge thank you. We're actually only about halfway-ish throughout the whole marathon, so still plenty to look forward to. You can check out the schedule by typing !schedule in the chat.
Thank you so much. And that little flippy shenanigans we just did there is what we call wing flip. And the whole purpose of this entire segment here is to play a game of The Floor is Lava, kind of like we saw from Echoes of Wisdom the other day by Glubbers. I'm gonna... I can make this. Yeah, there we go.
Or...
Alright, that should work. But as I was saying, the whole purpose of this section is to avoid touching the ground, because we have to go, to be able to get into the 4 shrines, which we need to complete to get off Great Sky Island, which is our starting area. We're going to have to open the door, or attempt to open the door at the Temple of Time first, which will allow the shrines to be activatable, openable. Is that a word? Unlike Breath of the Wild, the loading zones are not active until we activate the correct quest flag, so we can't just clip in or anything like that. We have to do something somewhat in a sequence. But as you may notice, a lot of the shrines are quite high up and far away from Temple of Time, and they would take a long time to get to. But by standing on these Zonai wings, we can preserve our respawn coordinates. So we can either void out or we can save and reload to do what's called a save load warp to get back up to wherever we last touched ground. We have to do that wing flip there because there's a big box that'll give us an autosave if we go too low. So we got the hard part out of the way. Just one more thing to do. On our way down to Temple of Time, we're going to be grabbing a couple more items while trying to stay on the wing. Little backflip mount onto the wing here.
Yeah, it's a good thing we can duplicate all those wings right at the beginning, because we are using a lot of them right now. We're about to use more.
Mm-hmm. We've got a little robot construct guy right down there we're going to have to take out, unfortunately. We want his shield and we want his sword. His sword will allow us to perform a series of glitches to get a very special and unique item that will be helpful for our journey. MC, if you want to start playing MNF, I think that'll probably be a good time.
Yeah, this is something I'm really familiar with and really understand the mechanics of.
I'll try to fill in the gaps later.
So basically, the way I understand it is we're going to do a bunch of shenanigans to yoink our Master Sword from the intro and get it into our current save. So there's going to be some crazy menuing against a wall and then we're going to go back to the intro, and we're going to grab it, and then we're going to do more stuff against the wall, and then we're going to have it. That's the Message Not Found sword, which is the name for the Master Sword in the intro. It's unbreakable. It used to hum, now it doesn't anymore, for reasons.
Another side effect of staying on the wings is that we didn't get very many autosaves, which means we have one left from the intro we can use. But yeah, that series of menuing there, you're going to see a lot of glitches that looks like swapping weapons, dropping weapons, turning around, clapping your hands, doing 3 jumping jacks or whatever. It's basically, there's a lot of glitches in this game that rely on using the weapon inventory to exploit various things we can do, such as smuggle weapons into places that we should not be able to have them.
Yeah, so isn't it like you're not normally supposed to have access to the weapons menu here? And that's why we can yoink it? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And even if you did, you can't perform that Zelkul glitch with just one weapon. So we transfer the Rusty Sword back to the prologue, and we use that to get the MNF. And so now we've got the Master Sword on Great Sky Island. And what's so great
and
about...
we're all the way back up here.
Right. So there's our first Shrine Ascend we're going to be heading to, and we're going to grab a little snack along the way. Hopefully.
Oh, my snack was a carrot, so it didn't swim away.
My snack is a fish.
Nice. Donate. Tell us what snacks you're having while watching this all dungeon speedrun at Rejects and Friends, benefiting Planned Parenthood.
Nice plug, nice plug.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So now we're just going to ride this wing here down to Ascend. And we'll already be at our first shrine. What was I saying? So the reason that getting the MNF takes about 45 seconds or so, which is a decent bit of time loss compared to like going through like the any % GSI route. But what the MNF does for us is it's an unbreakable sword. It's got 30 damage, and we're going to use another glitch to get it up to 80 damage with every hit. And then if you think about using that Zelkul glitch to stack multiple copies of that into Link's hand at once, we're going to be doing 8, which is going to give us whatever the math is, 160?
Sure, I don't do math,
right?
So
and then we're going to add a... Yeah, then we're going to have another fuse material on top of that. Anyways, it's a lot of damage. We're going to be basically either one-shotting or two-shotting almost every enemy, including bosses, in this game. So combat is basically kind of a non-issue. If you've watched Breath of the Wild speedruns, which I also run and I love a lot, you'll see a lot of kind of cool combat with different bows and ancient arrows and bomb arrows and stuff like that. It's pretty neat stuff. In Tears of the Kingdom, it's kind of more of just a formality. And a lot of our skill in the run comes from glitch execution and tight movement and things like that. So now that we're here in Ascend...
There will be a lot of later. We're going to be zooming all over the place.
And now that we're here in Ascend, we're actually going to start setting up our first key movement glitch of the run, which is known as Arrow Smuggle. And we don't really have time to get into like the in-depth technical explanation, but all you need to know is basically we're going to be performing more menu glitches with 2 bows to desync the bow from Link's model, which will allow us to perform jump/chains mid-air, allowing us to fly. And so we're going to be grabbing our second bow here, and then we're going to go all the way up there after we're done setting up this glitch.
It's going to make a real funky beat as we do.
Very nice.
Voice.
All right, and there we go. There's our first shrine down, 3 to go, and those will be the only 4 that we complete in the entirety of the run. Once we get off GSI, we're gonna head to Lookout Landing to start the Regional Phenomena quest, which we need to access Spirit Temple, and then we'll just be doing Dungeon Rush for the rest of the run, which is very, very fun.
Is now a good time to jump in with a donation?
Yeah, for sure.
So I have one snack related and one not snack related. Which would you like first?
Let's go for the snack. Let's hear the snack.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
So snack related comes from Vivi, who's donated $10 and says, I have some chocolate chip cookies and an iced latte. Oh, and good luck, Cloud and MC. And then we also have $25 from Brandino, our previous runner, saying donating to name the Typhlosion bleh, which is a reference to our bid war happening right now. So if you donate right now, you can join in the bid war to name Sparkle's Pokemon for the Pokemon Coliseum run later. So get those donations in.
Thank you. I think I'm team Charwazard.
I'm torn.
I
They're
think
both
I'll go
really
with
good.
Charizard too.
Yeah.
Is it the amount of H's in Blair? I feel like I should support that.
You gotta represent.
All right, next Ryan.
Another benefit of Arrow Smuggle is we can perform a full damage cancel. Like that, we're going to be grabbing a second shield and a couple other pickups here. These Bright Bloom Seeds are going to come in handy for one of our leader dungeons. And if I forget them, I'm going to lose like a minute. So good thing we grab those. Now we're going to set up a throw that we call battery throw or battery trick shot. It's going to do precise lineup here. And what this is doing is that wing capsule is landing and hitting a fan down below, which triggers this dialogue for the construct to give us the battery. The reason that we want to do that here is because if you don't get it before you complete your second shrine, you're then privy to a long cutscene. So doing that battery throw saves about 18 seconds or so. And now we're going to see a little bit faster form of arrow flight. Like in many games, we go faster when we're moving backwards.
Do you
We can
get a
mix in
little
some
bit of
shield surge here.
momentum? A little bit of
What's that?
momentum off that wing. Do you get momentum off that wing as well, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, that's why I do a
halfway
crouch jump
there?
into a shield serve. That gives me quite a bit of speed.
Ah.
And it helps me ensure a good angle to head straight to the shrine. So yeah, there's arrow flight or arrow smuggle flight is it can be pretty complex in terms of mechanics and such. There's a bit of a learning curve to picking it up, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically what's happening is because the bow is desynced from Link's model, what happens is if you perform a jump slash with your bow out, the desync will automatically cancel the jump slash animation on the first frame, meaning you can immediately draw your bow again and then chain into another jump slash. And since jump slashes give you a lot of direction and momentum when you're moving in a specific direction, that allows you to move pretty fast midair.
Bunch of different like ways of setting up that as well, right? Like I remember shock arrow smuggle. There was another one that I don't remember the name of. There's been like a bunch of different iterations of jumping around across GSI.
Pretty much, yeah. And now we've got another trick shot coming up here. We're gonna snipe this chest down with a bomb arrow and have it come right to us.
I gotta admit, whenever a runner gets hit by that chest, I do laugh, which is maybe a little toxic of me, but it is it's very funny.
Last time I was
Sometimes you
grinding
just-
this game, a couple weeks ago, I had one of my best ever paces in Diffuse, and then I got bonked by the chest and just
Oh no.
died. Yeah. So now we're gonna drain our arrows here. This makes arrow flight faster because it means we won't enter bullet time or that slowdown effect. Oh right, I forgot to. And we can achieve that by either draining our arrows or running out of stamina. Draining arrows ends up being quicker. So we're just gonna fly pretty precisely over a cutscene trigger there. Saves about 10 seconds. And now we're at the end of Fuse, halfway done with GSI.
Speaking of having no arrows, we neglected to mention that the game is in Spanish, and English voice acting, I think, right?
That's the fastest combo. Spanish saves like, it's kind of substantial. It's like 6 or 8 seconds or something like that compared
Wow.
to playing in English, which is what we were doing before.
Mm-hmm.
Another line up here, we're going to perform a bit of a normalized setup. 4 side hops, 2 shield parries, turn and aim, another shield parry. And I messed it up. This should still work though. Just have to re-aim. And then I'm going to focus up for a sec here.
Some of these arrow flights are pretty long. You gotta cover a long distance and keep your momentum of your button presses, so you don't lose too much height, gain too much height, lose speed. So
Yep, and this flight in particular, that's why I don't talk.
or do that.
Alright, we're gonna save this. I was gonna say, this flight in particular, there's a very laggy area that we fly over a concert camp, so I kind of pan the camera up there. It feels like placebo, but it kind of actually does help too, so... If you get a lag frame, it'll just eat your input, and your flight can fail.
Hey.
Decent backup, only lost a few seconds there. And now we're at shrine number 3. And we are also going to be skipping this one with arrow flight. And we're going to see another setup for getting our launch with what we call a ledge bomb, which, as the name kind of implies, is a bomb jump off a ledge. Getting a bomb, like a forward shield jump, on the very corner of a ledge, it kind of maximizes your horizontal momentum, which will give you a very fast flight.
Yeah, there's a bunch of silly setups for all these arrow flights for getting the right angle and the right starting momentum. We saw at the last shrine all these side hops and sword slashes trying to get themselves lined up in the right direction, because once you're going you can't really adjust.
Yeah, your momentum is locked in once you do your first jump slash cancel. We're gonna sign up here. Alright, this one's a bit slow, but it'll get the job done. Speaking of getting the job done, a reminder that our event here is benefiting Planned Parenthood that does so much wonderful work for women and other marginalized communities in the medical world. I work in the healthcare field myself, and I know that Planned Parenthood does some pretty good work. So if you're looking to donate to a good cause, this is definitely one that I recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And to make that all the sweeter, we have some incentives running throughout this run. First off is a wallpaper designed by the lovely, the wonderful Joshua FE8, which is Lookout Landing themed, and it is adorable. It's in the schedule if you'd like to see it. And then we also have the bid war running for Sparkle's run later to nickname Pokemon. You can nickname Typhlosion or Espeon. Currently, there are no votes for Espeon, but Typhlosion at the moment will be called Bleh, unless we get some other votes in there. So if you disagree, team, get your donations in using !donate in chat.
Vote for Charizard. I'm not biased.
No bias here whatsoever.
No.
Hot take, I think it's okay to be biased. As long as you recognize your bias.
If you recognize
True,
an
acknowledge
accepted
it.
bias, you can take steps to mitigate. Are we
So now
going
we're
into
grabbing this
cutscenes?
recall ability here. For our last shrine. This is one of the hard sequence checks for completing GSI. Coming up here is this door that we need 4 hearts to open. Using a series of glitches, if you end up getting a heart container early, like you can through various means, well, there's really just one means that I know of. Various mean, you can actually get off early, but you still have to complete the first 3 shrines to open that door, and you have to have 4 heart containers. So Great Sky Island is pretty sequence locked behind those things. And here we're going to instantly cancel the door, and this next step. which we're actually not going to use much of, but it is kind of required for this run. So now to get back to Recall Shrine.
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
I am unfortunately not listening to the game audio right now, but Raru sure does like to say "hmm" and "ah."
As a veteran speedrun watcher, right there. Don't even need the
yeah,
the
no,
game
I
audio.
know.
So now we're coming back to Room of Awakening, and fortunately, since we have bombs, we don't have to do a cog skip again. Because you notice we never activated that panel. So we're just gonna bomb jump up here. Very nice.
Those bomb jumps really come in handy all over the place. Who needs a remote bomb when you have a bomb flower on a shield? I would still like a remote bomb, but that's just me.
I've always wondered if there was a mod where you could put like the Breath of the Wild runes into this game, if you would still be able to win bomb, or if like they changed something about the physics system.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, to mention, we are playing on the Switch 1. The version differences, I think for Tears of the Kingdom were not as substantial when it comes to current patch as it was for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they barely patched anything on the Switch 2, but that's because all the good stuff was already patched back in August 2023.
Yeah, so this is
Nintendo just
version...
didn't really care anymore.
Yeah, this is version 1.0 that Cloud is playing on at the moment, which has lots of glitches in it that we can use.
Yep, and unfortunately version 1.0 is not accessible on the Switch 2. Well, fortunately for me, because I don't own a Switch 2, but... oh. Now we're finally gonna get rid of our Zuckle there and pick up our Master Sword. We want to spend as much time in this cave as possible before warping, because warping from a cave back to the overworld gives you a pretty long load, but if we spend more time in the cave, it'll give us a better chance for a fast load. Nine-second load, that was really good.
Beady.
So in many categories, you'll see us do something inside that cave, like scan amiibo, or fuse the bomb to the shield. Just anything to kind of waste time before we can get the warp off.
Stall, quick. Let the game load. This is on the Switch 1. Yep. Oh, little dip.
It's alright.
Sometimes you gotta cool down your Link. But now we finally get that heart container we were talking about earlier.
Yep, and as we always say, now we can finally play the game. GSI is great, but it's very hard and it's very reset heavy. So getting off Greysky Island is kind of like, okay, now we actually have a run going. And I was gonna say, going back to talking about the Switch 2, if version 1.0 was available on the Switch 2, it would definitely be faster. Because it just saves so much time on loads. But even with all the time save for loads, if you're playing on current patch, the glitches on 1.0 are just so good that you're not going to be able to make up that time. So for Tears of the Kingdom, Switch 2 is optimal for basically like glitchless categories, or if you're running on current patch, because we do have leaderboards for that, then you want to be on Switch 2, otherwise playing on Switch 1 is optimal. Here's one of my favorite Aeroflight lineups. We're going to slash the sword to get the wing to spawn a set distance away. 4 parries. Get a ledge bomb right off the tip of the nose. And that is Greysky Island complete.
Go. Yeah, GSI really has like all the hard stuff packed right at the beginning. You have intro clip, and then you have cog skip, and then you have wing flip all back to back. So it's really all those arrow flights, like it's just so difficult. So getting getting to this point is always a really good feeling.
Getting a couple spins here for fun and whimsy. And we're gonna be heading down to our next key item pickup, which is a rocket chest. And now would probably be a good time to start explaining Pocket Rocket. And see if you want to take over.
Yeah, something else I can definitely explain.
Do your best, and I'll fill in the gaps as needed.
Yeah. So we are gonna get a rocket, and we're going to trick it into fusing to our sword and our shield at the same time, as far as I'm aware. And what you're gonna see in a second is we're gonna be able to do a little shield bouncing along with our rocket. And this is going to be like one of our main forms of movement for the rest of the run, in conjunction with something we'll see a little bit later that will get us across long distances. This is kind of like our short distance travel mode of transportation.
Pretty much. But yeah, just like MC said, we interrupted the rocket fuse by opening the rune menu, which allows the rocket to exist on our shield and in the overworld at the same time, which you can do that for any Zonai device, but for rockets it has a funny effect. It lets you kind of jump, and you're only limited by the durability of your shield on the version that we're playing. The wooden shield is not very strong, so we want to use it sparingly, but we're going to be picking up a slightly better shield right here. See here? Oh, nope, it's here.
Yeah, it's a rusty sword.
Actually, I need to do this. My other shield broke a bit too early. So we're gonna do this quick. Make another one, because you can just do that.
That's always wild to me how you can just get another one. Look at that. All right, so
Now
we are
can
making our
continue on
way.
Yep.
Yeah,
to
we're making our way to Lookout Landing. The theme of the wallpaper that's up for raffle, if you get your donations in, if I'm not mistaken.
That is absolutely right. It's a wallpaper designed by Joshua FE8, and it is called, I'm going to check my notes, Look Out, Joshua and Pura are landing, and it shows Joshua and Pura outside Lookout Landing, and it is so cute. So anytime you donate over $10, you can select that as an incentive for your donation to be entered into the raffle. For information on donations, please type !donate in chat.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely get those donations in. It's a great cause. Supporting your communities right now.
Alright, so in conjunction with this quest, we gotta go talk to the captain at the gatehouse. We're going to be playing another game of The Floor is Lava.
Ooh.
So nice, we had to do it twice. And so for this one, we're gonna want to get up really high. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to be setting up a special form of Pocket Rocket called Infinite Pocket Rocket, which involves a lot of complicated glitches that I won't go into, but all you need to know is basically it'll allow us to use this rusty shield for the entire run with no durability use. It consumes battery at like 95% slower rate or something like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to combine that with another save load warp, just like we did at the beginning. To kind of stay on the wing here, talk to the guard, and then, let's see. I want to move a bit more here. That might not work. We'll see. But yeah, so basically, after we reload, which is part of the setup for Infinite Pocket Rocket, if we can avoid touching the ground and getting an autosave, it'll put us right back at Lookout Landing with the proper quest flags activated from talking to this NPC. So we can just move on. In the old route, or I guess what we could consider now the beginner route, we would go to the docks and grab the Hylian shield and duplicate that a couple of times and just use that for our pocket rocket. But doing this saves about a minute and a half or so.
And it's kind of convenient that you can do this. Oh no.
I missed it. Pretty good though.
I've been memeing lately with Player 5, who is currently, I think he just got a new world record last night, actually, in this category.
He did.
But I never see this Hawes thing work, so I think I might have just cursed you by watching the screen the entire time. I have never
goodness.
once seen this entire trick work. So I'm so sorry about that, but
No, it's all good. There's a very precise lineup for it that I don't quite understand yet. But yeah, so we're not gonna be getting the full time save, but you can see our little rocket is suspended right there. And so now we're just gonna have to go back to the lookout landing and dive into the water. But as you can see, this is doing like no battery usage on our shield. And our shield would definitely have broken by now. But we're just gonna have to rocket up super high and then try not to die. Let's not go far enough. Here we go.
nice of them to put a little moat here that you can land into, because we still do not have the paraglider yet. That's what we're about to grab. Oh no.
I wasn't quite far enough.
Oh no.
It's alright. I'm just ensuring that I don't get a PB because I didn't start from a fresh boot, so it wouldn't be valid anyways.
That's
Wise.
That's good of you.
Yeah.
So we'll have to set up that glitch again, but it's not that big of a deal.
Should we distract everyone with the donation?
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Cinder, who says, Cloud and MZ, Cloud Slay, good luck on the run.
Thank you.
So just a reminder about the incentives we have going on for this one. It's not automatic. You will have to select it every time you donate. So just a reminder, if you think you're donating to the bid war, just make sure you absolutely are. Or indeed for Joshy's wallpaper as well.
Oh. Alright, let's give that another shot. The deathless run was not to be. And actually, after this is kind of the last part where you're in big danger of dying. Because we're going to be grabbing fairies soon, and as you know, we can basically get infinite of anything we want.
Yeah, unlike
So we'll
Breath
be
of the
relying on
Wild,
fairies.
unlike Breath of the Wild, where we have IST, which we'll be seeing later today, actually. We've got Breath of the Wild coming up in a few hours. In all dungeons versus any percent race, which will be super fun. But in spoilers, in that game, they can get a ton of fairies, and then you never have to worry about your fairy count ever again. In this game, we got to manually dupe everything, so you kind of have to keep a little bit of an eye on your materials as you're using them. Nice. We have landed.
Hello again, ladies. Don't mind if I drop in. This run involves a lot of dropping down from the sky and talking to people. They often get startled.
The
So now we've
citizens of
got-
Hyrule will be used to it at the end of this.
You'd think, but oh my god, it was worse in the old route where we still had auto cancel slide that like where you use like wings to stand on to fly super fast. Because every time you set that up, you pull out the wings and then it scares the children.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Goron children who would shriek loudly. I mean, I would too, but
I do miss that part of the route,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. Check it. Woohoo!
But yeah, we just got about a minute more so of cutscenes and dialogue. We're gonna get the paraglider, we're going to open the tower, which will give us a good warp point to come back later.
Uh-huh.
And most importantly, we are going to start the regional phenomena quest, which you don't actually need to complete the 4 main dungeons: water, fire, wind, and lightning. But you do need to get into Spirit Temple, because if you don't have the quest active, you cannot interact with Mineru's mask to start that quest.
Yeah, and you can put your guesses in now of which temple we're actually going to be doing first. The answer may surprise you.
Yeah. Mhm.
That actually seems like it's a slightly faster spot. I normally don't do it there, but that actually seems like it's a tiny bit quicker.
Ooh,
than the
strat
other place,
development live on stream.
right?
I like this answer in the chat for which we're going to do first, which was none of them. We are 40 minutes into the run and we haven't done a single dungeon yet. So I guess that's true.
I'm enjoying the water temple guess as well. If I
Yeah.
throw in consistent, are we
Ocarina
any
of
closer?
Time Water Temple.
Yeah.
I haven't played that game since I was a kid, so probably not.
Just open up Ocarina real quick.
Mhm. Ah.
Yal's guessed the Temple of Hopes and Dreams, which I guess is close-ish
Oh yeah. Oh
in
yeah.
a similar ballpark.
That's the spirit.
Get grabbed. Get absolutely grabbed. Plug in my Nintendo Switch. And then we're gonna launch. But yeah, the routing for this category is pretty unique and pretty fun. Since there's only one dungeon that has to be completed in a certain order, and that's Hyrule Castle, which, by the way, we do count as a dungeon because it's got a boss that drops a heart container, and if you don't defeat that boss in the dungeon, you have to fight it during the boss rush. In addition, we've got our main 4 we mentioned, and Spirit Temple, which we also mentioned. Hyrule Castle is the only one that's kind of like order locked behind completing the first main 4, and then Spirit Temple, you can just throw it wherever.
I'm so glad you said that because I was saying to MZ before the run, I was like, I can't remember what the 6th dungeon is. What is it? It's fallen out of my brain.
Yeah, they tricked us. They packed some extra dungeons in this game compared to Breath of the Wild. Cloud, which one is your favorite? Either speedrun or casually?
Hmm.
Casually, probably Wind Temple.
Mm-hmm.
I also did really like the Hyrule Castle sequence a lot, although it was just kind of short.
Hmm.
True,
and
true.
No real puzzles. It was kind of combat focused, which
Ah.
generally I do like for a dungeon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree on the Wind Temple. The Lightning Temple was also pretty cool.
Yeah, that one definitely felt like a more like a traditional Zelda dungeon.
Yeah.
Like I walked in and it really reminded me of like the Spirit Temple from Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
or like Arbiter's Ground from TP or something like
Yeah,
that.
very, very Arbiter's Groundsy.
But in the speedrun, probably Lightning Temple.
Yeah.
That's generally my go-to answer. Someone here. Oh, I'll just leave that one behind.
Yeah, Lightning Temple's towards the end of the run, and you want to stick around to see it because it's pretty neat. And it made me forget how to it made me forget how to do it casually.
Yep, same. I started playing Tears of the Kingdom Randomizer a couple months ago, which was an experience, but it's on a version where I don't have my precious glitches. So I had to do Lightning Temple casually a couple times, and it broke me as a person a little bit.
Like, what do you mean there's puzzles? All right, we're finally. Oh wait, we got to gather more stuff. I was gonna say we're finally going places. We don't have any
It's-
fairies yet.
It's kind of on the way. It's
Yeah.
kind of on the way.
We're getting there. I say we're finally going places as if we haven't been all over Tarnation already. we've been to a lot of places. Does none of them happen to have the word temple?
Oh, is that a problem for the route if you're doing all dungeons and they're all temples?
Oh, I didn't consider this. Wait, are they all called temple?
Only Hyrule Castle is not. The rest of them are
True.
called temples.
All right, changing the name to all temples and a castle.
Catchy, I like it.
A lot of Zelda games, they don't use the temple moniker much. Oh, this is a new way to mess up. Also, everyone say hi to Naydra in the background. If we're lucky, we'll get to see all the dragons in this run. We're gonna grab this Lancereal for combat. And now I'm gonna focus up here because we're going to be zuggling some more.
Yeah, this is the part of the run that involves counting, as we are stacking a bunch of weapons onto Link's hand so we can do mega damage to everything we come across, which makes a lot of these bosses a lot easier. Instead of having to actually fight them, you can just, as Cloud likes to say, defeat them with the power of friendship. And by the power of friendship, I mean these 8 swords that I stacked onto my hand. Or 10? I don't know. It's a bunch.
Is this where we fire up the Hyrule microwave?
So I am not actually sure what changed in the route, but the microwave does not microwave anymore. The microwave has been unplugged.
That fills me with joy. I know we don't have audio on ours anyway, but I couldn't stand the humming.
Yeah, so people were not a fan of the old MNF Zuggle setup because it multiplied the regular Master Sword hum by 10, and it was very loud. We're about to destroy this guy, by the way.
Goodbye.
Yep, there he goes.
Get rid of those. The reason that we don't get the hum anymore is because we do intro clip, which skips the flag that makes the sword hum.
Right, because the sword lights up when you get to the room with 3 keys in it. A very intense battle against 3 keys. It lights up to let you know there's evil guys there.
All right, we're just gonna.
But now we don't go there,
this.
so it doesn't hum.
That's the relief.
And that's why, if you watched my GDQ run, we did get the hum because I messed up
Right.
intro and had to run through normally. It's kind of a tradition at this point to mess up intro when you're on GDQ.
Not here though. Here we get it first try.
I was talking to Gymnast before my run. He had run any percent previously, and he's like, you can be the first person to get intro clip at GDQ, and I was like, well, that didn't happen. I tried. Didn't quite work out.
Alright, we're finally starting the quest to get into a dungeon. We're up here in the cloud, above the spirit temple, and normally there is a door that you need 10 hearts to open, but we're of course not going to do that. We're just gonna go in with amazing visibility around here because we haven't done the whole quest to get rid of the fog.
And we're just gonna clip through the floor. Okay, so now that I can catch my breath a bit, sorry, that segment's pretty intense with all the menuing and such. But we can finally explain. So all those turnarounds, this is what we call dynamic zuggle. So again, like MZ explained, we're stacking the swords into Link's hand for damage. And the secondary effect is that it puts us right at what we call overload, which is a state where Link's model has so many actors attached to it that it provides some funny effects, like ignoring collision when you're on a mountable object like a steering stick. So we can basically clip through floors now for the price of one steering stick.
Yeah, there's a
And
bunch
we're
of
just gonna take
different
the swing here.
there's a bunch of different things that count as mountable objects in this game. Like I know in any percent, they get onto the back of a deer to clip down into the depths to get to the final showdown. The I almost said microscope. That's the wrong thing. The telescope at Lookout Landing is one as well.
Mhm. Any animal that you can ride, and also pulling the master sword from the light dragon's head also counts as mountable. So
That's
in the
right.
All Main Quests run, I like to clip through the light dragon's head when we grab the master sword, and Link just falls during the cuts.
Remember you showing that off one time. And if
Exactly.
anyone guessed that our first dungeon was going to be the Spirit Temple, congratulations, you are correct. Thematically in the game, this is normally the last dungeon you would do, besides. No, it would be the last dungeon you would do if you're doing it the Nintended way, but we're going to do it right now.
And the main reason for that is just because it's kind of inconvenient to come here later, just off base where we end up in the route. And also along the way, there's some really strong pickups, like what you saw. We grabbed the Lionel's equipment, which is super strong. You can get all that stuff elsewhere, but here they're just all compacted into one place, which makes it very convenient to come here first.
And we get to hang out with Minoru.
Hello. I basically
we
have her voice lines memorized at this point.
I was just about to say, we get a little bit of a Hylian tour of all the NPC voice lines in this game. They sure do like to make noises when they're giving us dialogue boxes. We're gonna get a lot of
Yep.
sure.
And here comes yet another trick shot. We're going to try to golf hole-in-one this mask right into the pedestal with a rocket. Let's see if I can get the line up here.
$20 if you get it first try. Oh,
I love
That's
that
how
so
it's
much.
done. That's how it's done.
all right. Opening the donation page.
Yes.
So now a little bit of cutscene here before we get into Construct Factory, or Cheese Factory, as I call it, because we are going to be doing zero negative amount of puzzles, as you'll see in a sec. But if we've got anything from our wonderful host, now would be a good time.
Great, thank you. As MZ just alluded to, of course, we're all here watching our fantastic runners go fast and break some games. Well, not to play the games in some cases, but we're also benefiting a really, really important cause in Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Planned Parenthood states that your health is our highest priority, and we believe that your body is your own, which is an incredibly important mission that we're proud to support, and now so more than ever. Please donate whatever you can using !donate in chat, or ! if anybody is offended by that. Yeah, when we get through, we will read them out. But obviously, we have the incentives live still. You can see at the bottom of the screen, we have our little bar ticking up. So we are just under 1,000. Yes, my math is correct. $1,000 away from matching what we raised at Rapid Fire last year in 2024, which would be so cool to meet and surpass. So anything you can spare, please do drop us a donation.
Yeah, let's get that done. That would be amazing.
What we're doing here is another glitch that involves taking equipment from our inventory. There's a bit of a running theme in this game in terms of glitches. But what that does is when we attach a wing to it, it considers that wing as linked to our inventory, no pun intended. And because of that, the door will not close because the door reads, or the game reads as Link standing in the doorway. So now we can just grab the box and waltz out the front door.
Yeah, they
Thank
used to
you,
call
Emily. From somebody called MZ. I don't know who that could be with the
What?
comment first try. And MZ also entered into the raffle for Joshua's wallpaper and also voted in the Pokemon bid war. Oh, you put Charizard ahead.
Oh ho ho. Yeah, that's a challenge to all of you. If you're Team Blair, it's time to show me what's what.
The gauntlet's thrown.
But yeah, they used to call this Cringe Factory because it was pretty cringe sometimes to try and make it through with your little box. Bring everything back to Minoru's little construct body area.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool now, just being able to snatch it and walk out the front door.
Yep, and this is also why you grabbed those Bright Bloom seeds earlier. Not only do they help us see where the boxes are, but since we have to go from depot to depot, it's quicker to do that than just do them all at once, than to do them one at a time. The Bright Bloom seeds attached to an object actually increases the radius that it will not despawn. There's probably a better way to say that Englishly, but
English.
basically we can get further away from the box without it respawning if we attach a Bright Bloom seed.
I actually didn't know that. I knew dragon parts would increase the despawn radius, but I guess that explains why I don't lose my bike that much.
Oh my god, killer aim right there.
Ooh. All right, we got legs.
That's one. Bring the other 3 here as well, Link.
He got legs, and we got 2 of them.
And that's another part.
But
2 left.
yeah, I want to say out of the 3D Zelda games, I think Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons is one of the games that takes the longest to actually get to the dungeon and complete the first dungeon. I don't know if it's the longest, but definitely definitely up there, I would say.
Definitely feels that way, at least.
Yeah, just because Great Sky Island takes forever to get off, and then we've got the whole lookout landing sequence. Takes a long time.
Yeah, but luckily
But,
once you get past all that, it does pick up pretty quickly.
Right, once you get the ball rolling, it keeps rolling pretty fast.
Mhm.
Dungeon Boy in chat confirming our claim. Thank you, Dungeon Boy.
Meow.
Chat, if we could all meow at Glubbers, please. That would be great.
Yeah, list of things I did not expect to see yesterday. Was Glover's dressed as a cat girl.
If you want to know what we're talking about, I'm sure you can check out the VOD. But Glover's looked fantastic.
Oh yeah. And had a pretty good makeup consultant, if I'm not mistaken.
That
That's
cat
correct.
eyeliner was A+. Thank you to everyone except DTMP for your meows.
That's right, my consultation services are available for any aspiring cat girls, cat boys, and cat persons. I'm surprised Glubbers didn't go for the whiskers too. I told him to draw some little whiskers with eyeliner on his cheeks.
That would have been great.
Okay, this aim's a bit weird, but we're just gonna roll with it. Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna have to... Where do you think you're going?
For a little lazy river ride.
I guess so. The game runs at literally 10 frames per second when we're going through there. Oh wait, did I? Can't remember if I was supposed to drop this yet. Yeah.
A little fuse there for a little teaser of what we're gonna see coming up in a minute.
I might skip the first one, just so I don't
know.
spend forever trying to get it.
In
And
a
then
while.
And then we'll save it for after the boss.
All right. But yeah, spoilers. We're gonna see another form of movement a little later in the run, and it's gonna be really cool.
All right, well,
Thank you.
now is another movie night unskippable
Now
cutscene.
only
If our
one
host has
time
anything for us,
remains.
now would also be a good time. If not, we can just
We
keep
must
yapping.
recover my secret stone.
Wonderful.
I'll
we
do my
can-
Minoru impression.
Ooh, well, I'll whip through this quickly, and then we can we can move on to that.
I was bluffing.
So we are super lucky this marathon that almost every run has incentives that you can donate toward, ranging from art to features of the runs or some really great trick showcases. So right now, when you donate using !donate in chat, we have a raffle running for a wallpaper by the wonderful Joshua FE8 titled "Look Out, Joshua and Pura are Landing." It shows Joshua and Pura outside Lookout Landing, and it is so cute. When donating a minimum of $10, make sure you add the reward to your donation to be in with a chance to win. We also have 2 bid wars running to decide the nicknames that Espeon and Typhlosion get in Sparkle's Pokemon Coliseum any percent run later today, and you can vote with any donation. So, saying that again, !donate in chat to help sway that bid war. Currently, Typhlosion will be called Charizard, and Espeon hasn't. No one wants to name Espeon, so poor Espeon's looking a little sad. So if we get some donations in and cheer up Espeon, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, how can we have a nameless Pokemon? That's just heartless.
There's just a clear bias coming through from everyone.
Yeah.
Poor Espeon.
You might have missed it just back there, but we also got to see Farosh, the lightning dragon, for just a second. So now that's 2.
Sure are a lot of dragons in this game. In case you never noticed.
You know, I am kind of glad they expanded on the whole dragons thing, because I remember that was one of my favorite moments when I first played through Breath of the Wild, which was like...
Mhm. Yeah, I remember the feeling of like you
first
hear
dragon
the
encounter. Yeah.
yeah, you hear the music for the first time, and then you look up and you're like, it's a dragon.
Oh, it's because I'm out of battery. I was like, why is Minoru going so slow? I forgot that she
Slower
runs on
than
battery.
usual. She's usually not that fast.
And here we are at Spirit Temple. Construct Factory was the real dungeon. Spirit Temple is basically just a glorified boss arena. And the boss itself actually has one of the highest HP pools in the game. I believe that Sea's Construct actually has more HP than Ganondorf. You know, the
Not
final
know
boss.
that. That's wild.
Basically just because they want to force they kind of want to make you use the robot punch mechanic. I don't know what you'd call it, but we're gonna completely ignore that because we have, like MC mentioned, a lot of swords taped to our hands.
Yeah, they want you to go the Rock'em Sock'em Robots route. But we have something a little better.
Mm-hmm.
We will use Minoru a little later though.
Yeah,
For a
but what you'll
little bit of
see
schlap.
for our bosses is kind of a pattern. Basically, we stun the boss and then hit it a couple times and it dies. So we're gonna stun the boss.
We will not be able to force our way past its defenses. We must
Hit him a couple times.
And it dies. Into the next phase. Unlike Breath of the Wild, where if you have enough damage, you can get like a true one-shot on a boss, Tears of the Kingdom, it kind of boxes you into each phase. So you one-shot phase 1 and then you one-shot phase 2. Unfortunately, they kind of make you sit through the cutscene.
Minoru is trying to help.
It brought out more arms.
Moral support. And shout out to all those fairies that we got as we just stand with our toes directly in the gloom, taking constant gloom damage.
Pretty much.
And that's the Spirit Temple. So that is one dungeon done. And now it's time to mash through a bunch of text. Is everyone's favorite part of a speedrun, I'm sure.
Could be worse. Could be Echoes of Wisdom glitchless,
True.
which I used to run for like 2 weeks. Although they now allow turbo for text mashing, which is kind of cool.
Well then.
But so yeah, I was gonna mention. So you'll notice at the end of each dungeon, I'm going to Zelkle the shield, and what that does is it makes it so the shield will last through the loading zone.
Well then.
When we either warp away or finish the dungeon, you go through a loading zone. And if we don't do that, that's kind of the caveat for our infinite pocket rocket tech. Like we get free battery, free durability, but then we have to spend a few seconds Zelkling every time we want to warp or go through a load. But even with that, I think it's 6 or 7 in total times that we have to Zelkle. It still ends up being faster than the old Hylian shield route for this category. Get one more item pickup here. Our Ancient Blade. Now we're going to head to our next dungeon, which is Water Temple. So I hope y'all are ready for some fish drama. We'll get to see.
Fish.
We're going to be watching fish drama in reverse order. So you'll get to see episode 1 later today during Player 5's Breath of the Wild. All dungeons run. Here we're starting you on episode 2, so things might not make sense. Plus we're skipping the dialogue. Plus it's in Spanish. It's more like fish telenovela at this point, actually. Now that I think about it.
It is. It is. Those Zora, I played through all of the 3D Zelda games recently, and I realized just how much the Zora seem to be pretty dramatic. Oh, as I'm talking, we're doing our final alluded to a movement trick, Magic Carpet, which I
Otherwise known
don't
as a cart
have
slide.
yeah, I have zero
This is
idea how
our-
this works at all.
This is our main long distance travel. So what happens is another benefit of Overload, again, we have so much weapon stacked onto Link that the game does funny things. Swapping a weapon in Overload gives us what we call a drop smuggle, which is just a weapon stuck to Link's feet. And then if we can get the collision of that weapon stuck underneath a cart, which propels it slightly upwards and forwards. And you can see why we call it Magic Carpet.
We just get to chill up here as we slide over, and it moves pretty quickly too. And hit a blood moon, which is I think it's guaranteed, right? When you enter a new area, that you're going to get a blood moon.
Yeah, that blood moon is a story blood moon. The first time you enter one of the 4 main regions.
All right, I hope everyone's ready for some yes. A little bit of hey now, a no from Sidon.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, I saw a concept art design for Yona, and she had like a katana on her waist. It looks so badass. I was like, they kind of fumbled with the final design. Like her concept design was so cool. She had like a sword and like a bandana and everything.
But now she's just green.
Typical dumbed down waifu. Sidon gets a sword. How come the girl doesn't get a sword, huh?
Answer that, Nintendo. But yeah, these the fish, they have a lot to say. It takes You'll see later today. Please tune in for Breath of the Wild later today, because it is such a long time of mashing, and when you're playing through it, and once you're aware of how long fish drama takes, reading through it, I think it takes like 20 minutes if you're actually like reading all the text boxes.
And
It's
not
crazy.
skipping the cutscenes. Oh, I forgot.
Yep. But yeah, we're just starting our little Zora quest, talking to fish down here. Now we'll go talk to some fish up there.
Yep. Here's another lag reduction mechanic. We're gonna look up to hopefully avoid a world out here. Just saves a couple seconds. But you'll notice we do this a couple times during the run. Oh, we still got a small one anyways. Unfortunate. But yeah, the whole pre-water temple quest line is just a lot of running around and talking to people.
Yeah, at least we have Pocket Rocket. Makes it a lot quicker to get to where we have to go to run our little errands. There's Sidon. Send in a donation today to send some good behavior Sidon energy for the water temple later.
Yeah, Water Temple has a lot of RNG and it's all around getting Sidon to spawn in where we need him so he can use his ability. The route that I came up with for Water Temple several months ago actually eliminates most of this RNG, but there's still a bit.
Yeah, you'll be... Hopefully we won't see it, but you'll be waiting for Sidon to show up and he's just on the other end of the temple, like, threatening a choo-choo.
Right, oh my goodness.
Dude, get over here. Alright, this may be my favorite voice line NPC in the game. He's gonna go, "Hurr." We'll see how accurate my my impression is. Maybe it's a bit lower. Yeah, we're getting the lore from this tablet, and then we're gonna have to go find the king. Then we can go talk to Sidon again.
Actually, I want this. I always forget to re-equip my weapon after a card line.
Needs a weapon in a Zelda game. Well, this game gave us the Earthwake manual. Does a whopping like 10 damage or something like that.
Mm-hmm. With like no way to upgrade it or anything, it's really sad.
Nope. No, I have defeated a Yiga foot soldier with it before just to give him a taste of his own medicine, but that's probably the only time I've actually used it. Got some scales from the king. I'm not sure. I've heard several people also had to look this part up when they were playing casually. The king gives you these scales, and you're supposed to shoot it through a water droplet-shaped cluster of rocks up there in the sky. And I was trying so hard during my first playthrough not to Google anything. I was going to be a gamer and do it all myself, but for some reason, I missed the part where you had to shoot the scale through the droplet. I was staring at the droplet, I was taking pictures of the droplet, I was trying to talk to Sidon about it, Sidon didn't care.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this king scale puzzle here is kind of a hard sequence check for the game. So basically, it's just a long sequence. You have to clean the statue so you can talk to Sidon. You talk to Sidon so you can repair the slate. You repair the slate so you can get the king scale. You get the king scale to shoot it through the loop. You get the loop so you can fight the sludge-like. You fight the sludge-like so you can talk to Sidon again. You talk to Sidon again so you can enter the whirlpool, which will allow you to open up the terminal at Zora Waterworks, which is basically like the final check to get to Water Temple. You can actually clip into the Waterworks at any point in the game, but you just can't activate the terminal. which is so sad. Like you can press A and it makes the noise, but it just won't trigger the cutscene. And so you complete all those story flags. So
Yeah, they just
now
wanted
we
it
get
was
to,
an immersion. They wanted to make you part of the Fishorama. Including this part. Tell us about the sludge light cloud.
we gave Fungos though.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit of a pushover. He's very annoying to fight casually, in my opinion. But we're just gonna kind of stun lock him, and then one shot. There's a tiny bit of RNG on this fight as to which way his head flops when we stun him.
And if you look carefully, you'll notice he has feet. There
I'm not
underneath
gonna be looking
the,
carefully.
There they are!
But yeah, there's our kind of our combat pattern again. We remove the boss's shield, we stun the boss to expose the weak point, hit the weak point, and then one shot.
Yes.
More fish trauma, we're gonna get sight on shaking for like 8 seconds straight or something.
Hey now.
Hey now, a little yes yes. Oh, he's very mad.
I thought
He's
you were
got a lot of
starting
emotions.
along then. Hey now, little yes, yes. Mm-mm. Mm.
I'm never gonna unhear that now.
You're welcome.
And now we're gonna turn in our snack that has been shoved in Link's underpants for the past hour. And we're gonna give it to Yona to repair the Zora armor. Now, getting armor is generally slow in these games, which is why you see a lot of naked Link.
Yes, yes.
But for this category, we actually need one chest piece. It can be any chest piece. This is actually not required for all dungeons. In particular, this is not part of like the water temple quest chain. But the reason why is later on in Gerudo Town, if we're not wearing a shirt, they're gonna throw us in jail. They don't care that we're not wearing pants. They just want us to cover Link's nipples for whatever reason.
I've always found that so funny that the where they draw the hard line is there's no shirt, no service, no shoes. Don't worry about it.
Yep. And with this current modern day routing, the Zora armor ends up being fastest because all you have to do is turn in the fish and go through that quick dialogue sequence. And it also allows us very quick movement up to Water Temple by scaling the waterfall. In an old route, we used to get a warp point up there, and so we'd grab another armor piece along the route, but this is our drip for this category.
Drip you could get. It's a pretty good one.
Zora armor, no pants. All style. And now finally, we're here at the waterworks, and this is our final check for us to be able to enter Water Temple.
Is now a good time to jump in with a donation?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So we've got $10 from Mookin, who says, had to donate during Cloud Run. Hi, Cloud. You are awesome. Less than 3. And Mookin has contributed to the Pokemon Bid War. Espeon now will get a name. Espeon will be called Nice Nature. And if you disagree, you know what to do about it, team. ! Donate in chat and make sure you pop in all your incentives before you check out.
Yeah, let's get that Espeon a fitting name. Is Charizard still ahead?
Yep, so for Typhlosion, Charizard is ahead. Blair is only $5 behind, so that is close. And then Espeon is $10 for Nice Nature, and then Mithra, I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. On 0 still. So all still to play for.
Yeah, we're blasting through dungeons, so if you want to have your opinion heard, now is the time to do so.
Yep. We are actually just about reaching the halfway point of our run. Basically, once we enter Water Temple, it's kind of the halfway point.
Nice. So if we want to surpass Rapid Fire from last year, we've got 4 dungeons left? 5 including this
Yeah,
one.
4 after this.
I think that's doable, team. I think that's doable. We can do that.
I believe.
Yeah, contrary to how long Fish Drama is, the rest of the dungeons themselves really do not take that long. Only a few minutes with some silly clips, as we're about to see in this one.
Yeah. Water Temple is kind of my baby in terms of the route. I came up with kind of the current route for Water Temple. And it's very hard to get optimal execution here, but feels very good. So the way Water Temple works is we've got these terminals that revolve around using Sidon's ability to activate these water wheels. And Sidon's bubble lasts about 10 seconds from when you activate it to when it expires before you have to use it. But that timer goes through cutscenes as well, and every gate that we clip into, it has a cutscene of it opening, so you really gotta be quick. And we're just gonna...
Sidon also has to be quick.
Yeah, but we've got kind of strats and different manips we can use to get him to spawn where we want him to be.
You just got Minoru out of the way there, so she wasn't all up in your space.
Yeah, it was just about 4 or 5 seconds or so because we need to turn her back on later. But I just want her to get out of the way because it's more of a safety strat, really.
Yeah,
It can help Sidon spawn in quicker, and then also there's a certain part where you're falling with your bow out, and if Minoru spawns right underneath you, you will mount her, and you will clip through, and you will soft lock.
Oh.
And the only way to get out of that is by rebooting the game, which is going to clear all of the glitches we have set up with like Zelkal, Infinite Pock Rocket. We're gonna have to spend like a couple minutes setting those back up, which is a huge pain. So getting a soft lock or a crash in this category is not common if you know what to do, but very devastating if it does happen. First clip, we're gonna get rid of this Choo-Choo to manipulate Sidon into coming over here quicker. Test spots. And get through. Right into the gates.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of rinse and repeat. Pun not really intended until I open my mouth.
We're gonna try to get some clean execution. Getting all the terminals here, if you do it right, everything really flows together.
Yeah, don't muck it up. Dude, we're so funny.
I'm so desperate to join in with this, but I feel you've got far more practice than I have.
No, please, any puns in any form, especially donation.
We might be good.
No, we like that.
There we go. That's the tightest clip. You have like 1 second of wiggle room. We call that cloud cycle because a certain person always misses it. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Messing up that one is not getting the cycle there is kind of devastating because Sidon takes forever to get over there if you don't get that quick spawn. But yeah, like you can see, we activate the bubble before getting in the gate because it's hard to kind of get him to wiggle up into those tight spaces. We're gonna scope twice to get him to spawn. Click through here. The stick placement is not super precise, but you just don't want to be too far forward or you land in the water. which wastes a lot of time and can cause you to miss the bubble cycle. For the last terminal here, this is the only one that we're going to be doing casually, quote unquote, because we can't clip in without lowering the water level, which requires us to do a little bit of archery.
And pocket
Oh, wait,
pocket
here.
rocketing around in the low gravity looks just so much fun. Really go flying all over the place.
And if we're lucky, this is the one where there's really no good manip to get him to spawn quickly. There we go. So yeah, we just lost several seconds waiting for fish guy to appear. But those are all the terminals. Now we're ready to fight the boss.
You did it.
Banger theme song.
Okay.
And like MZ said, we'll try not to muck it up.
Yeah, this game has some pretty good boss themes. Colgera is probably the most heard one, but Muktarok is really good as well in my opinion.
Yeah, shout out to Varieties. Awesome. Colgira earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been loving all the music arrangements and in the loading screens. Got some talented people around here.
Everywhere. Let's use water to clear some water.
You just give Muktarok a little rinse and a little poke, and then he's gone. That's Water Temple. We get to go through another Demon King Secret Stone.
Oh, that
Cutscene.
didn't quite work. Yeah, I definitely take my time with this because messing up the rocket is a huge time loss. There we go. And yeah, well, for all the cutscenes that we have to watch during the run, the Demon King Secret Stone infamous ones are actually all skippable. So we never have to watch those.
I'd say get to. It's iconic.
Maybe one of these days I'll go through the run and just not skip any cutscenes, like just to feel something.
Yeah. Movie night.
Just to remind us all how good we have it. That we have the skippable cutscenes that we do.
And then we gotta cap a Water Temple off with a little bit more fish drama.
Yeah, fish drama epilogue.
A
The
fish
wedding
victory.
episode.
Wedding / coronation / and then everyone clapped.
Whoa.
That's so accurate though. But yeah, next up we're gonna be heading to Goron City for the Fire Temple quest line with Yunobo. And that one's actually pretty quick. We're gonna use the Yunobo boss fight as kind of like our opportunity to finish duplicating all the materials we need for the rest of the run. And from there, we really don't have any more pickups, just a couple of things along the way.
My favorite thing about this this final text messaging session is King Dorephan gets a nice little hat at the end of it. Sidon is now king, so he's wearing the crown, and I guess the former king gets a little hat.
Emeritus royalty hat.
Yeah,
That's great. I actually never noticed that before.
Yeah, you'll see it like right at the end. It's got like a little, I don't know, he looks like a little page or something. Yes, yes.
Sure.
Ah. Haha.
And then everybody clapped. Yeah, see, there's his hat.
It's rotated out my clap, but
No, I heard it.
yes.
Yes, yes. All right, we're done with the fish.
Oh, there you go. This part's fun because it's actually like the exact same sequence that we go through in Breath of the Wild, all dungeons, just a bit quicker.
Yeah, and as Cloud mentioned, we're gonna slide our way over to Goron City. They've got a little bit of a rock roast problem. And we're getting into Goro territory.
Let's see, air counts at 11. That should be good. During the Lionel fight, there's like a 50-50 chance to get 20 arrows or 30 arrows as a drop. 20 arrows is doable, but it's just a bit tighter, so we gotta be extra careful. Because we've got some more trick shots coming up later for Fire Temple and during the boss. For enemies that are not really good for taking down with like weaponry, like you want to kill them from a distance, we've got our Savage Lionel bow, that very high attack, 3-shot, and then the very powerful gems. Topaz does 80 damage combined with the, what is it, 36 something attack from the Lionel bow. I was never good at math, but that's a lot of damage. So even without our Master Sword, we'll be able to take down Fire Temple boss in just a couple shots.
But first, we got to deal with mob boss Yunobo. And his fetching, like, leopard print? What is that?
I do enjoy the
Vest?
leopard print. I think it's a choice.
He's like a luchador.
I mean, we are in Spanish.
Exactly. It's very fitting.
Yeah, we're about to do, like Cloud said, a little bit of duping during this very intense fight here, which we will need Minoru for.
You can do without her, but it's just super cumbersome and not worth it.
And it's just so much funnier when you have Minoru.
So the way that this Yunobo encounter works is he's got 3 phases. Each of them only requires 1 HP to take down. So you can literally hit him with anything. Like, I've seen people like throw eggs at him, throw apples at him and stuff like that. And we're just gonna slap him with Minoru. It's very fun.
Could I interrupt Zelda's mind control with a little donation?
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful, thank you. We have had a $50 donation from an anonymous donator, so thank you so much. That's so generous. And they've said, "Yay, Cloud! Yay, Top K, all dungeons." So that donation will go to the Planned Parenthood Federation of America, which is the charity that we're supporting here today. Planned Parenthood provides access to safe birth control in whatever form that may be, hormone therapies, STI treatments, and more. It's a cause that we're really proud to support, and if you would like to donate, you can type !donate in chat.
We're doing we're doing our dupes here.
Why is he stuck?
In between
Oh,
our
there.
dupes.
And get slapped.
I love it so much.
Alright, well, this is overkill at this point, but why not?
I always appreciate more fairies. More everything. Does being on Minoru also get you out of the way of his violent spinning?
Exactly, yeah, because he just phases right through her. Basically, you just want him to hit the wall, which will stun him. If you don't have Minoru, you kind of have to like dupe awkwardly by climbing the wall and jumping off the wall, or like using your rocket shield or something. And then you have to watch Yunobo to time to climb up on the wall before he hits you. It's very annoying.
Yeah, sounds like I'd rather just get on the robot. Yeah, we have freed Yunobo from his mind control. So now we officially get our Goro our Goro time. A little bit of why'd you do it as well. He likes to yell all kinds of things.
The Gorons are
Huh? Oh.
screamers, apparently.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a funny little strat that barely saves any time. It is very annoying, called Yunobo push. Just trying to push him closer to the rock. Oh, that's a really good one. Wow. Yeah, it just saves literally like a few frames of his rolling animation.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he got stuck.
I have not seen that before. That's hilarious. That's actually time loss, I think.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I didn't know that could happen.
But there's kind of just one more order of business before we can get down to Fire Temple, and that's the boss for this region. Or the mini boss, I guess you should say.
I don't know about
One
mini.
of my favorite fights in the game, actually.
Yeah, me too. When I got up here in my first casual playthrough and I saw the little plane they have prepared for you there, I was like, no way. We're gonna bounce our way all the way up here to Death Mountain. And there's gonna be a big guy coming out of the top. We're gonna get him. I don't know why I'm saying we as if I'm doing anything. Cloud's gonna get him.
Oh, you're definitely helping. You're definitely helping.
I'm here for moral support.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
He's gonna say, oh boy, it's real big.
All right, so this fight's going to be a bit of a prelude to the strats we're going to see inside Fire Temple. Basically requiring some stylish wing mounts to summon Yunobo.
Yeah, it's convenient that when you're on a Zonai device, Yunobo will automatically get on the front of it, ready to rumble.
All right, so we can get the snipe here. Oh, barely missed it.
Aw, close. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping on wings whenever we can to
There we go.
get Yunobo to us as fast as possible. Otherwise, he's just gonna wander around and wave his sword at things.
Pretty much. Yunobo is actually one of the better sages in the speedrun context because he has that reliable static way to get him to spawn just by mounting a vehicle, which just standing on a wing counts as mounting a vehicle. Tolan as well is really good. Riju is not that annoying. Silence definitely the worst. And then Minoru has the problem
Sage.
of showing up where you don't want her to be. She's too reliable. She's like a helicopter parent.
Sage tier list when? I guess that was it, huh?
Pretty much. Tolan is number one in the speedrun for sure.
I think casually too. I think a lot of people would agree that Tulin's the only one that I at least keep out constantly. Yunobo I'll take out every once in a while when I've got like a big pile of rocks to break. But Tulin stays out of the Pokeball.
Minoru is
months.
always put away at all times.
Mhm.
Calm. Calm.
And you'll notice that we skipped any form of fire protection in the hot climate down here. We're just going to tank it with fairies. And every time we enter a dialogue or cutscene, it stops us from burning and it resets our burn timer as well. That'll help us kind of avoid some damage too. And there's Dinral, dragon number 3, off on our right.
Stay focused.
Dang, we really are seeing all of them.
Yeah.
I think that's all 3 now, right?
Yeah, I think optimally now the route is too fast and you miss Barash and you miss Dinral.
Hmm.
Actually, no, I think you still get Dinral, but I'm not sure.
Stay focused.
But yeah, something else to mention about Fire Temple is the game is struggling to run. My Switch is huffing and puffing, trying to render all these fire particles. So you got to be very slow and deliberate with your inputs, because there's some pretty precise movement we've got to do during this dungeon, and it's very easy to mess up and burn your rocket out if you're not being careful. Oh, he's behind me. There he is.
Yeah, this is definitely the lag temple.
And on version 1.0, it's actually worse because post 1.0 versions had
Yep.
a little bit of performance optimization.
Do you know if it's any better on Switch 2 or on current patch?
It is on current patch. It's even further optimized.
Hmm.
What's that slide? We're gonna avoid their that dialogue sequence and sneak around the side.
Hey.
And a nice sneaky use of Sidon, because we all know the best defense against lava is a little bit of water. so Link's wet, so he is not on fire at the moment
Mhm.
for the next, what, 30 seconds or so?
Yeah. Although from here on out, we're actually gonna avoid using Sidon because he makes the game lag even worse when his bubble's active. And we've got
And the last thing
fairies.
we
We'll be
need-
fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah. The last thing we need around here is even more lag.
Mm-hmm. But while we're doing our Fire Temple intro here, let's go ahead and throw it over to host real quick if we got anything on the docket.
Brill, thank you. So, with just about an hour left of this run, not to put you under any pressure, Cloud, just wanted to give you a bit of a lowdown on what's coming up later. So, next up, we have a Viva Pinata level 10 garden run by your KV. And then after that, we have the Breath of the Wild all dungeons versus any percent relay race by Player 5, The Real Noman, Onyx Ebony, and Requiem of Spirit. So lots and lots to look forward to before we even get to our final run of the evening, of the night, which is Pokemon Colosseum, any percent by Sparkle, which is what our bid war is in aid of. So, in case you weren't aware, we have the power to name 2 of Sparkle's Pokemon, being Typhlosion and Espeon. Currently, Espeon will be called Nice Nature, and currently Typhlosion will be called Charizard. Or is that Charizard? I think it's more likely Charizard, isn't it? But that one is close. Blair is only $5 behind. So if you would like to change that, get your donations in, team, with ! donate.
It's okay, no one saw that.
So what?
Yeah, exactly. As we're just getting over here for the first time.
Wow, I wonder where those rocks went. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, we got interrupted again. Great. He stopped right before the gong.
Oh.
Come on, bro. Help me out a little. So yeah, we're gonna get all these gate things to PogChamp for us so we can access the boss room. Funny thing about this dungeon is you can actually clip in and trigger the boss fight right now, but it kind of soft locks because the music will start to play, but the boss just won't show up until you get all the terminals.
Question in chat asking how many fairies right now?
Probably around 25, maybe a little less, but that should be more than fine.
Yeah, you don't actually burn through as many fairies as you would think in these for Breath of the Wild as well. You actually don't use that many while you're on fire. Use probably the most while you're down here. I guess maybe up in Wind Temple too when you're freezing. But
Yeah.
He does actually burn quite slowly, doesn't he?
Just too much.
hmm And then, like I mentioned, every time we go through a dialogue sequence, there it resets our burn timer. Well, okay.
where does it go?
Now I'm in an interesting predicament where I need more wings.
Focused.
Yeah, but the dupe method in 1.0 is so easy. Like, if I can do it, I'm not a speedrunner. Like, you know, it's easy. With Zonai devices, you just need to be... Oh my goodness. You just need to be in a spot where you can't take out the Zonai device, and then... What is it? Try to take it out and sort at the same time. And then you magically get more.
Pretty much. The way that they coded it, I guess. Oh, didn't need that.
Nice. Little good luck horn.
Something like that. But yeah, the way that they coded it means that it takes the item out and then it checks that you can't take them out and then it puts it back in your inventory. But since you never actually pulled it out, you get one for free. Another little trick shot here. There's a puzzle where you're supposed to open a gate and drop in from above, but we can just snipe it through the bars there. And oh, very quick Unobo spawn. He's trying to make up for his troll on the last terminal. And now the gate is open,
That's the door.
but we don't actually have to activate the cutscene to open it. We can just clip in now and avoid the dialogue for some minor time save. I'm gonna resync here and one final wing mount.
Goro.
Very nice.
You do it.
Alright, now I wonder what you're going to do to take down Marbled Goma. Maybe stun him and then
shoot
poke
it.
him?
Those legs will hurt him.
I'm
We're just gonna shoot him. Mm-hmm.
Shoot the eye? What? In a
In a
Zelda,
Zelda
game?
game?
It's more common than you'd think.
And a little alluding to our final fights in the run, these topaz sure do a lot of damage. They're very useful. Shocking, one could say. Thank you for the pity laugh.
Good.
And that's Fire Temple done already.
What? It didn't work. Okay. We're gonna do this slowly then. There we go. Out of my way. Oh, great.
Oh, stamina.
And that's what you need.
But there we go. We're now technically halfway done with our dungeons, but we're a lot more than halfway through the run. So if you're looking to get your donations in, now is the time.
If you were a video game boss, where would your weak spot be?
Oh, good question.
I just simply wouldn't have one. Like, what are they
Ooh.
thinking?
Yeah, that's kind of what the chat is saying. Vivi's saying that if she was a video game boss, it would simply not have a large exposed eyeball.
Yep, pretty much.
But as Leanne points out, that the eyeball is contractual.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that promotion, this is part of the package.
hmm It's like the 5-year badge. Your years of service, giant eyeball. yap to some Gorons here, and we're gonna get to see Yunobo scratch his head for an entire 10 seconds or something.
Something like that. Everybody get your scratches ready. I was thinking about making like a
Yep.
head scratch emote for Yunobo. It'd be pretty funny.
That
But
would
I
be
don't
good.
really run this category much anymore, so it's kind of a moot point now.
You still do it. Sincerely,
True.
you're a loyal subscriber.
That's right.
There he goes.
Everyone in chat better be scratching.
Oh, I am.
It's painfully long, and when you scratch along with it, it's all the more obvious. Alright, we're gonna drop this guy. Gonna pick up my escudo con cojete. And we're gonna set up our next Hyrule Airlines flight to Rito Village.
Go.
Right? Yeah,
Time to
that
get
is-
the best sage in the game. He blows away the rest of the competition.
He makes completing Wind Temple a breeze.
Oh.
So yep, this is like the AFK part of the run. I think this is the longest slide in almost any category. But we're just gonna pan the camera up. I'm gonna set my controller down. Go and get a drink or something for the
Little
next
stretch
30, 40
break.
seconds.
Look for some shapes in the clouds.
No sense getting in a flap since we're on our way to Tulin.
That one looks like my parents arguing.
That one looks like we're freezing to death.
And we'll see if we get a special glitch here. I won't bother talking about it unless we get it. Which it looks like we might. Yeah, I think we got it.
It's a beautiful day in Hyrule.
This is a weird weather phenomenon that we call sunny day glitch. We don't really quite know how it works, other than perhaps just like you slide in so fast. Because normally, there's some sort of trigger for the first time you enter, kind of like the Rito Hebra area, that spawns in a giant snowstorm that lasts until you complete Wind Temple. It's supposed to be like the crisis that they're facing, right? But from what we can tell, basically, like you just slide in so fast that the trigger doesn't load in, and it never, like, it'll never trigger again. So we're just gonna basically have this sunny day, no snowstorm, and it actually ends up saving a couple seconds here and there during the run because you get a little bit less lag and world loads during some of the upcoming traversal sections. The funny thing about Sunny Day Glitch too is like it's really hard to replicate, other than like it just happens a lot. Like if you do the run cleanly, it seems like you basically always get it. So I'm wondering if it might be like a time of day thing or something like that, but yeah, there's
Not really sure what causes it.
mm-hmm.
Oh.
Get to talk to Emo Bird here.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see Saki earlier, Tulin's mom, who is a very slay bird. There's some fashionable Rito around here.
There are. And a fun fact, during Wind Waker Chaos yesterday, we were talking about eating the characters.
Oh,
Okay,
I
hold
missed
on.
that part.
We're just gonna put all the seeds back into their Pokeball. But it's funny, so Tolan's parents are named Teba and Saki, which, if you're familiar, Teba Saki is kind of Japanese fried chicken.
Oh my god.
So
Oh no.
they were designed to be consumed.
Oh no. I've definitely seen discourse on which Animal Crossing villager is the most edible. I think chatter might have been up there. Literal just cheese mouse.
So for the Wind Temple lead up section, you're supposed to go through this whole sequence where like you search for Tolan and you have to go through the cave system and like there's clues you can follow to where he is. But you actually don't need to do any of that. There's no sequence there. So you can just come up and the trigger is shooting that Arakuda, which we can snipe him long distance with a rocket to trigger the mini boss fight, which is, you know, 3 Bokoblin.
Terrifying.
This is definitely, you can tell this is the one that they kind of wanted you to do first as your first dungeon.
Yeah, you can have either the literal final boss of the dungeon, a 3-headed monster coming out of a volcano, a sludge-like, or 3 bokoblins. Take your pick.
3 Bokoblins in a trench coat with an Arakuda. Or Toby, as we affectionately refer to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the what is it? The name in the game files for an Arakuda is Toby.
Huh?
Hmm.
Ah. Ah.
It's a pun referencing the Japanese word Toby, which is fly. Well, I don't know if it's really a pun or if they just called him that
Ah.
because he flies.
Ah.
I don't know what flies. Call it a flying thing. Stop asking
There's some
questions.
funny enemy names in the code, like the Yiga foot soldiers are called like Junior Assassin or something like that.
One
The
day
Flux
they'll get
Construct
promoted.
bosses are called Blockmaster, which is one of my favorites. So yeah, because of the sunny day glitch, we're getting noticeably less lag coming up here.
We get a nice view. And a little snippet of some of my favorite music in the game. The whole Wind Temple Ascent is probably my favorite part of my original playthrough.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This game has incredible sound design. I normally
Oh,
play
yeah.
with the sound down low when I'm speedrunning, just because there's some audio cues that can mess up my rhythm for like Aeroflight and things like that. But yeah, sometimes I just like to pop in my headphones into my monitor and just run around the game casually. There's just so many, like, they took the great sound design from Breath of the Wild and just added onto it. Little stuff like the patter of rain on your paraglider when you're flying through the stormy weather
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's super cool.
I, oddly enough, only realized that recently. I was just like gliding around and it was raining. I was like, wait a second. Like, I actually thought it was something they had added in the Switch 2 because I had never noticed it before. But then,
Oh, really? That's funny.
Apparently, it's been there this whole time and I just never noticed
Yeah.
for some reason.
It wasn't in Breath of the Wild, though. They added it in Tears of the Kingdom, to my
Ah.
knowledge.
You would think I would have noticed, though, if it was in Tears of the Kingdom. I did play it. I swear. I played this game.
Turn around here. There's actually some new strats being developed right now, like the past couple weeks, as there's been renewed interest in the category that uses cart slides or magic carpet in like a vertical fashion to skip this rocketing, saves like 15 seconds or something. But it's still kind of under development, plus I haven't really messed around with it myself, so we'll just do the traditional route.
I seem to remember an old auto build cancel that was really cursed to get up there.
Yeah, that's a ZFG special tech. So
Mm.
you build the auto build and you fly in the opposite direction, and then halfway up, you jump off of it, you turn around, and you hop back onto it. It's pretty precise, but it's very
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah, it looked cool, but also a little bit difficult. Just a little bit.
Also, because of Sunny Day Glitch, our lighting in Wind Temple is going to be very green, which is fun. Doesn't do anything. It's just green. It's pretty.
I almost just said, just like Yona. Maybe that's mean to Yona. Doesn't do
I mean,
much.
she
but
is green.
She is green. She's the greenest. All right, it's time.
So for Wind Temple, we're going to be using Toland's wind ability. And like we mentioned, we can kind of proc him to spawn in next to us just by pulling out the glider. It's very nice. The problem with Toland is that he has the longest Sage ability cooldown at 15 seconds. So if we miss one of our wind gusts, which some of them are pretty precise, we just have to sit there for 15 seconds and wait for him to respawn.
5 locks securing the hatch on the deck.
Nothing much else can be done.
Use your power to release all 5.
Do you get to
I
see
actually
a little
wonder
and the hatch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
what were we going to say?
We get to see a little bit of fun out of bounds stuff
Yeah.
in this temple.
Yeah.
Heed my
I was going to say, I wonder if it's like Breath of the Wild where getting a new item text box will instantly respawn the cooldown like it does for the runes.
Oh. I didn't know that actually.
So for this first one, we're gonna kind of line up here and let's do that.
Who needs to do the puzzle?
The thing about going out of bounds in Wind Temple is that there's a lot of coaling zones, which is basically just places where it'll yeet Link into the void. So we have to be very deliberate as to where we clip and how we move out of bounds.
Yeah, there's all these areas spread across the game, which causes some challenges for multiple routes that you'll just be chilling out of bounds and all of a sudden Link will just disappear and you just can't do anything about it. You're just stuck there.
Pretty much. We're gonna get this. Got my steering stick. Oh, I got stuck.
Yeah, we are now out of bounds and we're gonna get a couple more terminals from here, like this
There
one.
we go. That was kind of close. And it's very laggy out of bounds too, because it's showing like the whole dungeon at once down here. So, kind of similar to Fire Temple, gotta be very kind of deliberate in your movements. Now for here, for this next puzzle, oh, there we go. We're gonna enter this room from below. Well, hit this cutscene trigger from below. Now I'm kind of stuck. There we go. Just so we can skip doing a puzzle later. Since we've got a little bit of downtime on the cooldown. Now we're just gonna rank it up here. Hit number 4. And yeah, when the cooldowns line up very nicely, getting between terminals, there's actually like 3 or 4 different terminal orders you can do. As long as you can get from one to another within 15 seconds, it's an optimal route, so.
Yeah, I really like watching the routing for Wind Temple. I think Lightning Temple is still my #1 favorite. We're kind of getting a little taste in this temple of what the Lightning Temple is going to be like with the out-of-bound movement. But it's cool here. You get to do a little half inbounds, half out-of-bounds.
It's very nice. It's very fun.
It's very smart. I love it.
As much as I love Breath of the Wild all dungeons, I will say the dungeons themselves are better in Tears of the Kingdom just because there's a lot more varied strats you can do in the speedrun. Although you're still reliant on the terminal system, which I have my own feelings about, but it's good for what it is. And now, many people's fan favorite soundtrack that we will not be listening to very much of, because we're going to try to kill Colgera as quickly as possible.
Listen while you can.
Nope, again. Perfect. Another thing about the sunny day glitch is that actually the lighting change here makes it easier to see Colgera's weak spots from far away. Especially in phase 2, we've got these tornadoes coming in. That's another nice little benefit.
If you've never watched Tears of the Kingdom glitchless any percent, definitely give it a watch because because it's glitchless, you're kind of forced to fight all these. Oh, Watch out for those tornadoes.
Thanks for the warning,
Uh,
Colin.
You're forced to fight the final
There we go.
bosses of the dungeons. They're recalled to the final fight, like they are in Breath of the Wild, and it's scary because you're fighting Colgera without the paraglider. So you have limited stamina, no fairies, and a dream. So it's pretty cool. Definitely give it a watch if you haven't seen it.
Okay, I don't know why that isn't working. Do not talk to Tolan. No, nope. I'm trying to grab the shield. Give me the shield.
Can
Okay,
you
whatever.
overhand it?
It's actually not a bad idea. Okay.
Tulin, dude, move.
I actually don't need it. It's fine. I'm not gonna waste time trying to grab the shield. But again, it's worth taking your time there if you're worried, because losing your infinite pocket rocket is very annoying and takes forever to set up. But yeah, I didn't need that shield anyways. It's fine. Whatever. But now we just got 2 dungeons left, and the next one's not super long either. So if you're looking to get in some donations to Planned Parenthood, now is as good a time as ever. And speaking of which, if we have anything from our host, now would also be a great time.
Wonderful, thank you. Just wanted to welcome in anyone just joining us. Welcome on in. We are Rejects and Friends Rapid Fire 2025. So we are currently in the middle of Cloud's Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons run. And for this run, we have a number of donation incentives live, including a raffle for Lookout Landing themed wallpaper by the wonderful Joshua FE8, as well as a Pokemon nickname bid war for Sparkle's Pokemon Coliseum run later today, all in support of the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. To find out more and for a list of the current performers on stream, type !current in chat. And to donate, type !donate.
Alrighty then. I'm a little annoyed that he's giving this bow to his son instead of to me. I deserve it.
The best
I want
bow.
that Great Eagle bow.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But yeah, so Water Temple was all about drama. Spirit Temple was all about item pickups. Wind Temple was all about movement. Fire Temple was something.
All about friendship.
The Lightning Temple lead up is all about combat. When I go back. Friendship. Sure. Whatever works. There we go. Very nice. Please keep your arms and legs inside the magic carpet at all times.
Are you serving snacks on this flight, or?
I've got
I'll
some
take
extra
that as a no.
fairies. I've got
Oh,
some
I'll take
extra
a fairy.
fairies if you
I'll
want.
take that. One of the, one of my, I'm not sure how to describe it, but you can cook a fairy into a fairy tonic, and I'm
Yeah.
not really sure how I feel about that.
I don't
they
think you're
insinuate
cooking
that
the fairy. It's like the fairy's helping you cook.
Yeah,
Bounces around
It re-
and does magic.
yeah. It really does look like you're cooking it, though.
Just throw that sucker right in the pot.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what a fairy tastes like, but maybe I shouldn't go there.
I feel like we all need some snacks. It's the third time we
For
talk
some
about
snacks, for
eating
sure.
things in video games.
Yeah.
Everybody in
I'm
chat
gonna
was
have
talking
to
about pho yesterday, and I was like, I'm this close to going to my local Thai restaurant.
Mm.
I could really go for some of that right now. I do have pizza in the fridge, though. That's going to be my lunch after.
But yeah, like we mentioned, the Lightning Temple lead up section is all about combat. We've got some combat training here, then we've got to fight some Gibdos, at Karakara, then we're gonna fight them again at Gerudo Town, do a little mirror puzzle, fight the boss, and then we're gonna complete the dungeon in like 10% of the time it takes to do all that. So it'll be a fun ride. And something we're gonna try to do here is normally we've been picking up that drop smuggle or that claymore at Link's feet, but we're gonna want to try to preserve it for this next section, so we don't have to waste time setting it up again. Because we're gonna be doing a couple more slides during this area.
Here we go.
I don't have the game audio, so I can't tell if it's doing it, but I do enjoy when you have that that claymore stuck to your feet and it's just like bonking off everything as you walk past it. just
pretty
just
great.
whacking against everything.
It's pretty great.
Riju's just on top of it.
Mhm.
Just pick her up and take her with us. No, but we have to go to war a couple times before we can get to the dungeon against the Gibdos.
Okay, this is not working. Actually, I want this back. There we go.
First war, we gotta protect Karakara Bazaar against the intruding Gibdos, who are just so beautiful.
The nice thing about the Gibdos is that they're very weak to any type of elemental attacks. We've got our Topaz, we can just chuck at them. And call it a day.
Great, because I don't want to look at them longer than I have to. They've
These
got
guys are
weird, like-
so creepy. Their
got these
flappy
weird-
downwards facing mouths are so...
They've got these
gross.
like gill things on the sides of their heads, which is I can't deal with it. And I've been replaying this on the Switch too, so I'm seeing them in like full definition now. I'm not a fan. But yeah, they're gone pretty quickly with a little Topaz action, and then use Riju to get rid of the hive, and you're done.
And this will be our last magic carpet slide of the run. We're just gonna make our way over here for the town defense, which is a pretty fun, actually a pretty chill segment because everything's on a cycle. So as long as you're going reasonably fast, you'll be getting everything optimally.
Oh.
Is now a good time to hop in with some donations?
Yeah, please jump in.
Amazing, thank you. So we have $16 from Echi, who says donating $16, which is the equivalent of one Fortnite skin, because this run is a #1 victory royale with 2 exclamation marks. Thank you for that, Echi. And then another $20 from Coco. He says, wow, I'm new here. Thanks, H, for linking the donate command. I would never have known. I'm glad to have been of help, Coco. And thank you so much for the donation. I can give a bit of an update on where we're at with the bid war for Pokemon Colosseum later. Espeon's getting a new name team. Espeon's now going to be Mithra and not Nice Nature. So if you disagree, get your donos in. And Typhlosion is still Charizard.
Thank you. I appreciate the Fortnite reference. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Still waiting for them to add Miku to Zelda. Probably not going to
know.
happen without mods. But a girl can dream.
All right, so we got Gibdos and Gibdo hives surrounding the town.
Mhm.
And
This is
luckily
one of my
this is-
yeah.
Yeah, this is a section where we don't have to go up and talk to Riju for her to regenerate her lightning power. So we just get to jump around, and when she's ready, we fire off a shot and kill some Gibdos.
Defenses at the gate.
This was definitely a very fun section for me casually. Setting up like the town defense and everything with like the cannons and the barricades. But we can just kind of do that instead. Precise throws and then get some shots off here.
Yes! That hive is out of action. Enemies are pouring out of the hive near the north gate. Right, another hive down.
It's not one that I use very much. Once you have her after the temple, she takes quite a while normally to recharge her ability, and then you gotta chase her, track her down.
Yep.
Enemies from the hive near the west gate.
Yeah, this is one of the only parts of the run where I actually use audio cues for knowing like what part of her voice line the hive becomes active so I can shoot it. And it kind of varies depending on how fast you go, but pretty consistent. Now we're gonna go for a shelter clip, which saves like 4 seconds and loses a lot of time if you mess up. So we have to go
Don't
for
do
it.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, if I make sure to equip my weapon first.
Link really wanted to talk to Boliara. I would too, honestly.
Get off the wall. Thank you.
Classic.
All
Link.
that skips is moving the sand seal statue and then navigating through the tunnels.
Hey, if you can save some time, why not? Now we get to make a triangle in the desert. Which I'm sure is every Zelda fan's favorite shape. I don't think I have a favorite shape. This is not something I've considered before. This little strat as well. You're supposed to stand here and spin that thing around, but you can just attach a rocket to it and let her spin.
There you go. Yep, and be very careful with our battery usage here because we need enough juice to get from terminal to terminal and then also the rocket moving. Uses some battery as well. Second work. Yeah, that's fine. We haven't really touched on this movement, but you'll notice that sometimes I keep the shield out while I'm gliding. It's about a 12% speed increase, I want to say, over just normal gliding. At the cost of using a bit more battery, so we gotta be careful with it, but it's just overall a nice time save that we get from the infinite pocket rocket, because normally gliding like that with the rocket shield out uses a ton of battery. It'll drain your battery in like 3 seconds flat, and also it'll burn through your durability very quickly. But with the infinite pocket rocket, neither of those are a problem. There's a weird little mini soft lock for this portion where Riju comes up here and then she spawns after the cutscene over by the altar thingy. I don't know why I'm pointing. The altar thingy. I always do that. I'm like, you guys can see what I'm pointing at, right? But if you get to her and talk to her too fast, she gets locked in the wrong dialogue chain. So you gotta just pause for a brief second before you talk to her. And now we can finally enter Lightning Temple.
Yeah, we've unearthed it from the sand. And we get to hang out with more Gibdos. This one's clean.
Or the Thunder Temple, as they call it in Spanish, apparently.
I don't speak Spanish. I wouldn't know. How's your Spanish?
Not as good as it used to be. You can kind of scope and draw out your bow there. It's just a little way to get Riju to spawn in quicker. It doesn't always work, but it's more consistent than just standing around doing nothing.
Does that mean it's like
It's enough for this boss fight. Again, stun and smack. That's kind of our formula.
It's a good formula.
I know they would never program it like this, but it'd be really cool if you could just like one-shot the boss and then it would immediately die and it would just like put you at the end of the dungeon.
Oh, that would be great. But since that's not the case, we get
The
to
shenanigans are about to ensue.
yeah, we get to bounce
We are
up.
except the boss from Out of Bounds.
Yeah, so already, without even going in the front door, we are out of bounds, and we're gonna activate all the terminals with Riju,
Here she is.
who is with us down here in the sand. We're gonna activate all the terminals, and then go to the main like pedestal thing at the end, and we'll see them all activate at once we enter that cutscene trigger.
She is hauling ass in those heels in sand. I don't know how she does it.
She's just that good. It's the Gerudo way of Slay.
I guess so. But yeah, it's kind of easy to get lost down here because you're not really supposed to be down here. But as long as you know where to go, it's pretty quick. We're already halfway done.
Yeah, this dungeon is so quick.
Lightning quick, you might say.
Ah, shockingly quick.
And last one here, she likes to run inside the wall. Always fun. And camera does not like us being out of bounds, so we're just gonna do that and then jump towards the center. And now we're gonna find out if we got all 4 shots. They looked good to me, but sometimes you can get scammed on rare occasion. In which case, we'll have to improvise.
2 more left, Link.
So these are all the things we shot out of bounds. Now
Now that we're
activating
in the main
since we-
area, yeah. They're all
Yeah.
kind of proccing at once.
Okay. Only All right,
Perfect.
That should
And then hopefully
Conveniently.
the game just, yep, works you right back in. And you'll just beat the terminal, watch the cutscene, and then activate it again and go up to the boss room.
Yeah, definitely really cool strats in here, like water walls. I just did this dungeon casually recently, and because most of my exposure as of late to Tears of the Kingdom dungeons has been through the speedrun, I walked in here, I was like, what do I do? Where are any of these pedestals? I have no idea.
There's some of them that you can choose to get to them early with Ascend and such, but Riju
really?
just won't spawn in. It's so annoying. Yeah, I found this out when I
No.
was playing Rando several months ago.
See, I knew this room
Use your power to
accidentally. Like, I think I did that. Like, I popped my head up there and I was like, I'm not supposed to be in here. And I just went back down. But I don't know how you get out,
That's
actually, if
great.
you get stuck in there.
I did
Yeah.
that casually. I went up into there and was like, I'm now stuck. I think I had to
no.
walk out of the temple, go back in again.
Oh
I
no.
think you just gotta warp back. Or maybe it opens the door for you automatically. I can't remember if there's a like soft lock prevention. But here we
Yeah,
are.
but it is so easy to get up in there. Like, I think a lot of us have have accidentally gone in there when we weren't supposed to. But now we're going up there on purpose.
There's also apparently a hole in the ceiling, so like you could just drop down straight into the boss room from the outside of the dungeon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys remember our Unova push from earlier, we're gonna try to do a little bit of a Riju push here. She's somewhat less cooperative. Just because we're still waiting for her cooldown. Might as well try to get her a little bit closer. The longer you run a game, you start finding weirder and weirder optimizations for stuff. But yeah, our boss fight here is gonna go basically the same as the initial fight.
We've got it cornered here.
And the hitbox on Queen Gibdo is super janky. You kind of want to aim for the back leg to get a consistent stun. If you don't go quick enough or you miss your hits, she'll summon like these tornadoes.
I've just noticed Queen Gibdo's weird tail. I do not like that.
And then with the spear sometimes as well, the front of the spear will connect, but the Master Sword will not connect. So you're doing like pitiful damage.
But yeah, just like that, we are already done with the Lightning Temple. So we've only got one dungeon left to do.
And this one is very quick.
Hmm.
No lead up quests. All we're gonna do is warp to Lookout Landing, talk to Pura, watch a cutscene, then rocket to the dungeon and complete it.
While we're grabbing our popcorn for this cutscene, I thought we might do some trivia. Does that sound good?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's funny you mentioned because a few months ago I did a race versus Glan on Sparkle's GDQ Hotfix trivia show, and we were doing this category.
Amazing.
So this is throwing me back.
So the category I have to say is not the speed run. It's actually Rejects and Friends. So do either of you know how Rejects and Friends started?
Nope.
I do not. Please tell us.
I can tell you. So a few of us who were friends got rejected from GDQ. So Variety said, "Oh, well, we'll just do our own then." And since then, it's grown. This is our 7th major event, not counting the Event Horizons that happen as well. So we've come a long way from the original meme, which is a really cool story, I think. And I've got one other trivia question. I've just seen you've just taken back control, so we can hand back.
No, we're good. We're good. We're gonna warp and then watch a cutscene again. So
Awesome.
nothing super consequential happening.
So in total, for the Rejects and Friends events, how much have they raised? Closest number wins.
Oh, I think Variety mentioned this on stream the other day. I'm gonna go with 26,000.
Oh, that's the number I was
Wendy?
going to say too.
Oh, really? I'll say
26,001.
27,000 then.
26,001.
Cloud wins it because it's over $26,000. I don't know the exact
Wow.
number. So yeah, that's 26,000 for our charity that we support, which is the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Planned Parenthood states that your health is our highest priority, and we believe that your body is your own, which I think we can all agree is such an important mission, especially now. So team, over to you. Please donate whatever you can using !donate in chat.
And could you remind me what you've got a donation goal at the moment. Was that from last year's event?
Yeah, so last year's Rapid Fire, so July last year, we raised $4,500.63. That
Okay.
it took a lot of willpower then to say cents and not pence. And we are $976 or so off meeting that same target. So I think it's doable. If we can do it
Very
by the end
cool.
of today, that would be
Come to me.
super cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, let's definitely surpass that. That would be absolutely amazing. Great to see the impact over the years.
Please, no one check my maths there.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna.
You're good. I'm
I
the
don't do
exact
math.
wrong person to be double checking anyone's number work.
But yeah, now we're hanging out with Zelda, who unfortunately, again, has turned into monsters. Every time we get here, I'm like, maybe she won't be monsters this time. But she
every
is.
time she persists to be monsters.
Yeah. God forbid a girl wants to be monsters sometimes. But yeah, we're just gonna pocket rocket from room to room, taking out little hordes of monsters until we get to our final boss of this dungeon.
And yeah, the movement here is super fun. One of my favorite parts of the run. Also a bit scary due to all the shock in the area. You gotta be really careful when you're dealing with electricity, because if Link gets shocked while his weapon is out, all my Zuggle Master Swords are gonna go flying.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that, because we've got a lot of Master Swords.
Yep, and they take a long time to set up. I've been running Breath of the Wild a lot lately, and so every time we go past this area, I'm like, oh, we're gonna grab the memory, we're gonna get the Royal Guards bow from the Moblin, we're gonna get the Edge of Duality, which does not exist in this game because Zelda, Nintendo, I mean, personally hates me. We're gonna BLSS off this rail here.
Yeah, shout out to BLSS. Unfortunately yoinked in the latest update. Some people wouldn't say unfortunately about that one. A lot of categories are going back to an older route, which is it's a lot of fun to watch for sure.
That Moblin there, I've had times where I throw the Ancient Blade and he swings at it with his claymore and hits it like a baseball bat.
Oh my god.
Also, another fun trick shot here.
Yeah, this one is great.
It's alright.
Yeah, if you get
I
that
was very
first try,
impatient. Yeah.
you can hit all of them at once. Which is,
It's not always faster, because sometimes they take a while to get into the right position. Mostly I just YOLO it.
Waiting for you.
But that's pretty much the dungeon. We're just gonna head to the throne room.
Where Zelda is waiting for you.
And take down our 6th and final dungeon boss. Oh. Hold that thought.
Link doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Zelda.
Surely this time she won't be monsters, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
No.
Not
never mind.
again. Yeah, we got Phantom Ganon. Plural.
Oh.
Phantom Ganons.
That works. Sure. For this next phase, they're going to be glooming all over the floor. So we're going to have to kind of bait them to group up so we can hit them with all of our topaz at once. Optimally, this boss fight is done in 4 shots. Put them up here. Get bullet time so they can't escape. Wait for the spread. Shoot our second one and drop. Oh my god, and we got a straggler.
Phrasing of glooming all over the floor.
But there we go. That's our final dungeon, and now we're heading straight to the end game. And by straight, I mean straight down. We're just gonna dive for like a minute straight.
I am ashamed of how long it took me to figure out this was where I was supposed to dive to get down. I was going down in the depths, going around, trying to find a way in, and then it occurred to me. The giant hole is where I was supposed to dive.
It took me a while in my first playthrough to realize that I could jump in chasms at all, because I was looking at this like big evil hole with like evil stuff around it. And I was like, I'm not going in there. And then I think I saw someone streaming and jumped in the chasm. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go in there. That's like half the game down there.
Sometimes you just want to avoid peril, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a self-preservation enjoyer. But yeah, you can already see our destination down there. We're diving through all that fun stuff that, well, fun depending on who you ask. If you if you're a glitchless 90% runner, it's not fun at all. But yeah, we now have the army, Ganon's army, and we're just gonna take him out with a bunch of topaz. Which is everyone's favorite method of getting rid of Ganon's army.
Here's our possible combat. Goodbye. Try to snag a couple more arrow pickups there if we can, but it's fine. In any percent, we do the same thing, but just throwing gems. So it's a bit slower, but in all dungeons, we can just kind of snipe them down. Let's grab this. I can get some arrows. Not quite. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, with these
Here's
topaz
your
throws.
favorite enemy again, MZ. Your beloved Gibdos are back.
Could you throw a topaz at them, please?
I'll do you one better. I'll shoot 3 of them at once.
Oh. Thank you.
Right. No stragglers. Very good. Oh, I lied.
Oh,
There's a
thank God.
straggler.
The sages are trying
Sometimes you get lucky and you'll miss one, and then Yunobo or Riju or Sidon, whoever will like immediately smack them. It's great. It's like they're actually doing their job for once.
to... Yeah, they're trying to help.
Alright, last phase of army here. Unfortunately, the army is not skippable. We could clip out of bounds and go to Ganon's boss arena right now if we wanted to, but the quest flag for him to appear does not load in until after beating army. And since we completed all the dungeons, we don't have to fight any of their bosses, so we can just skip right through to the final encounter. Well, penultimate encounter, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'm
Finalish.
just gonna cycle my shield one more time here. And get rid of this. We want to make sure we're not overloaded going into the final boss, otherwise we'll clip through in soft lock. So I just gotta unequip our bow here for that segment. And this Ganon guy is a bit of a pushover.
Pathetic.
I love Zuggle so very much. Just bully him to death.
It's pretty great. And just like that, we're on phase 3, and we're actually making great time on our estimate. So yeah, we should be finishing well under.
Yeah, this has been a great run. But we have one hard thing coming up right at the end of the run. This Tears of the Kingdom likes to pack all its hard stuff right at the beginning, the very first thing you do, and the very last thing you do, just to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Get him a cheeky hit there. Now we're gonna read his attack and backflip accordingly.
And then just
And goodbye.
destroy him. And that's the end of the game, surely. Nothing else will happen.
Surely he won't eat a secret stone and turn into a dragon.
A light snack. After we get a nice long load here first, though.
Yep. And then another one.
And here we are. With
So
the
another
Master Sword
side,
that we...
yeah.
we totally haven't had this whole time. Sorry.
Another side effect of being overloaded is Link is just gonna not pick it up.
He's got it already.
hmm
Oh, Link.
No, but actually though, the MNF sword that we have, it doesn't count as the real Master Sword.
Hmm.
There's a distinct difference. So we still have to watch this cutscene, but it's all good. It's a very cinematic end to the run, and when you're getting here on PB or world record pace, your heart's pounding. It's a good moment to kind of deep breath and relax and psych yourself up.
Yeah, because what
So
we
for
have
Demon
here-
Dragon, yep, everything's on a cycle. It's gonna be pretty tight, but we'll try to just go from eye to eye as quickly as possible.
with the
Having
brightest
Pocket Rocket
Master
makes
Sword.
this, yeah. So
I keep
lightsaber.
interrupting you today.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, like Cloud was saying, we're just going to Pocket Rocket from eyeball to eyeball on Demon Dragon's gross back here. This is one, again, in any percent that is super scary because you're doing this whole thing without the paraglider. Luckily, we do have the paraglider, which helps a little bit, but it is still, to be optimal,
Oh my
really
God.
tight timing.
Well, there goes my
Uh-oh.
shoe.
Oh. Herm.
I guess we'll have to improvise a bit then. And yeah, that's fine.
Classic Demon Dragon moment.
Yeah, like we're gonna have to do
Yeah, like-
everything kind of out of order here.
Yeah. Like imagine you're on PB pace, you're on world record pace, and
And you just
make
use your
a-
shield.
yeah,
Oh, and by the
really
way,
tiny flip
we
up.
didn't touch on this the entire time, but because of the glitch we used for Infinite Pocket Rocket, recall is disabled.
I did not know that. Where we're going, we don't need recall, apparently.
Something like that. Oh, yep. Can get bonked.
It's a creative Demon Dragon, but luckily we can still get it done.
I did not mean to do it. Help me tell the help. Well, a bit of an... We get to spend more time enjoying what I consider to be one of the best final boss sequences in Zelda.
Oh yeah. And the music is great. Maybe someone who has practiced Demon Dragon a lot would not appreciate the music as much, but
It does taint it a little bit, but I like to... I just practice with the sound off.
yeah.
Alright, let's hope we can get there in time. No idea where this is gonna put us, but we're gonna improvise. Actually, that works. This baby can on a dime.
That's some expert wing piloting right there.
Unfortunately, I have a lot of experience messing up this fight and having to back it up. Fortunately or unfortunately, I suppose. I don't think we can get there quite in time.
I guess the more ways you mess it up, the more creative backups you can come up with.
Right.
Be prepared for anything.
I promise I'm not stalling for time. But yeah, if you want to get that wallpaper, now's your final chance. The run will be over in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, you can check it out on the schedule, I believe. There's an image of it there. You can see the beautiful art that has been created for this event.
Absolutely, and this wallpaper that Joshy's made is beyond adorable. It's so cute. So I've just put the donation link in the chat, so if you would... Whoa! I will let you finish.
little bit of blast off. We just got one more weak point to hit. Another instance of just don't have a giant weak point on your forehead. And then we'll be wrapping up here.
It's like glowing and everything too. Like, could you
Yeah.
make it any more obvious?
Look over here.
All right, so one final trick of the run. Are we good? He's still falling. All right, we're good. So there's a weird quirk exclusive to version 1.0 where if you're standing on the dragon when the final cutscene loads out, you get an 8-second load, like out of nowhere. So we do that fun little side jump to avoid the 8-second load. And that's our last hit. The run will be ending in just 1 minute from now. So I guess we'll come in right under estimate then.
That's only a
I had to-
1.0 thing, right? That long load.
Yeah, every other version you can just hit it, but on 1.0 you gotta get a little bit fancy with it. Had to play it a bit close with the dragon at the end, but we are good. Just our final dive sequence here, and then we'll be all finished with our Tears of the Kingdom run, and time will end when we hold hands with the princess.
Great music here as well. Just as a little treat at the end of the run.
Mhm. As hard as this game is, the ending is always cinema.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so time ends in 3, 2, 1, and time. There we go.
Jeez.
Played it a
Very
bit
nice.
close, right under estimate, but hey, whatever works, right? But yeah, thank you guys for coming and hang out with us for the last 2 hours, 44 minutes, and 52 seconds as we breeze through these dungeons. It's been super fun running this game and Breath of the Wild for the past couple years. Always a pleasure to show it. Also, thank you to Variety for organizing the event and for the invite. Always happy to help out friends and rejects and Planned Parenthood. So, yeah, I guess I don't really have any shout outs. Just thanks everybody for hanging out and chat and those who donated. Make sure you stick around for Viva Pinata after, Breath of the Wild later, and Pokemon Coliseum to round out our day 2. And let's raise money for a good cause. MZ, if you've got any final words.
Yeah, just thanks for having me here. And yeah, keep raising money for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, and with that,
Amazing.
it's been great. Thank you guys again for having us, and we'll throw it back to host.
Thanks so much, and thank you for coming. It's been great having you both. And just to finish off, we have had a donation come in, totally anonymous, with no message, for $100. So thank you so much. That was super duper generous.
Wow. Thank you.
Nice. So, yep, indeed, that is a wrap on Cloud's All Dungeons Run in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Huge well done to you, Cloud, and thank you as well to MZ Daisy on comms. Make sure you both give them a follow if you enjoyed the last nearly 3 hours. I'm sure you did. Hope you did. So, in terms of incentives, Joshy's wallpaper, if it hasn't finished already, it's finishing very, very soon. So, if you do want to get in for that raffle, get your donations in quick, sharp. The Pokemon Bid War is carrying on throughout the next run, so you've still got some time on that. Currently, Typhlosion will be called Charizard, which is very fun, but I think Blair is a better option, honestly, mainly due to the amount of H's. Espeon will be called Bithra currently. If you disagree, get your donations in, team. So next up is your KV's Viva Pinata level 10 run, and it's also where I leave you for the fantastic Link Too Many Numbers to take over. So thank you all for being the absolute best community, and make sure you keep those donations coming in. Bye!